So I think we're finally at the record with Cutie Pie, which was '82. Biggest hit that the group ever had, and took you guys to a different level. Ironically, from my standpoint, that record was maybe one of the more mellow ones overall for One Way, but it has the #1 funk hit on it in Cutie Pie.
Right, exactly, exactly. We say that about some acts, like Dave would say, like when we touring different things, he would say, you would say like, well, we're with, they call it a funk tour, but they may have climax and, different people who have good music, but I mean, funk is funk, but some people just, I don't know, everybody don't hear the same or something. I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah, as much as I love the Ohio Players, they're kind of more of a smooth funk band, so to speak. SOS, same thing. Their music is not hard funk, but more like a smooth groove, so to speak. So
it's funky, but it's not George Clinton's.
Right, or James Brown funk.
Understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Because then you got us, you got Zap, you got Barkays, different acts in that genre, which is strictly hardcore funk, so to speak. And it's funny too. Slave is considered in the funk genre, but Slave had more of a rock edge on their funk stuff. So I guess everybody had a little taste, but
right.
I think the smoothness of Cutie Pie probably contributed to Al's voice, because most of the other stuff was more group sing type songs where we all sung the song together. But I think Cutie Pie had the smoothness of that had something to do with Al's voice, probably.
And it's still, again, it was funny because I used to hate singing that song.
He did.
I was like, why me?
You created a monster.
Nah.
Right.
That's what I say. You never know.
You never know.
Never say never.
And it's funny. Probably some of our biggest hits were probably written in 5 or 10 minutes. The songs that we took time to. It took me 2 years to write this. Nobody never knows the song. I wrote this song in 5 minutes. It's your biggest song ever.
Well, so, you guys, we were talking about that you didn't realize at the time it was kind of a blur, but for this track in particular, I mean, when you were hearing it everywhere and it was on the radio so much and everything, I mean, you must have taken some notice. Hey, wow, this is really caught on.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, especially back in that time era. It was 2 songs we noticed that had to be monster hits, because when we used to travel in our 15-passenger van back in the day, there were no CD players or no tape decks in the van, so we would listen to radio stations. And we'd be traveling through Tennessee or Kentucky, and the only station we can get is a country and western station. Well, on some of those country and western stations, we not only heard Cutie Pie, but we heard, well, I wouldn't say country and western, but more of not an R&B station, not even straight pop. But we heard Cutie Pie and we heard Float on stations that you would never think you would hear that type of music on. So I think that's when we realized that the song was going to be huge.